Ozonics Killerwinds podcast back again. We got the nuke. We got me. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
You know, in the camaraderie of the nuke nickname, you really made my day yesterday. Something that I didn't even think about looking into, that you did some double checking on, that really got me excited.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
Dirt track schedules.
Dirt track schedules are out.
Not all of them.
Well, the ones that are important to us, a couple of them are.
Yeah.
Yep. So Mason City schedule's out.
Mm-hmm.
Got some big events coming up we're excited about next summer. And Hancock County Speedway. There was actually a little bit of unknown with that. I don't really know a ton of the specifics of who the people are exactly, but the promoter at the Hancock County Speedway had said at the end of the year that they weren't
stepping away.
That they were stepping away. And Hancock County Speedway is just a small little track, you know what I mean, in a small town. And it's like, oh, dang, like, who are they going to get? Who's going to do it? And I hadn't heard anything. And you had seen on Facebook that that same promoter decided to come back and do it again.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
I am super thankful for that because I love going to Hancock County Speedway.
Yeah, it'll be here before we know it, really.
Yep. We got a foot of snow out there right now, but before you know it.
Them frostbusters might need to be pushed back.
Well, they're not doing no frostbusters now, right? Yeah, well, they might have to be. What we're in the middle of now is we're in the dome season, in the arena season. There's some indoor dirt track races that are kind of right smack dab in the middle of it right now.
Right now, I'm pretty sure. Sure there's one this weekend in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah, I think it's called like
Gateway Dirt Nationals or something.
Yep, I've been seeing that on Flow Racing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the next one after that is the Chili Bowl. That's a real big one. That happens in Oklahoma. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. Coming right up.
Yep.
All right, so what are we talking about today?
We are talking about...
I think it's so funny when I ask you and you get like this grin on your face. What are we talking about? Hey, what are we talking about?
Well, I think
Hey, Nick, what are we talking about? Tell me what you're talking about. What are we talking about? Nick loves when I do the sound effects.
Now we're going to talk a little bit about our cold weather gear.
It's been a while since we did a little gear sash.
Yeah, so we're just going to talk a little bit about cold.
We're not talking about me, Cole. I'm Cole. Cold. You gotta switch the E for a D.
Cold weather gear. Yeah, what we're wearing to make it through these sits.
Yep. So we are in right now, when this podcast airs, the first half of the archery split is OVER.
Over.
That's what it spells. Yep. Wrapped up in the rearview mirror. Sayonara bow season.
See you next year.
Bring on the guns, baby.
Yep. The guns in the cold.
Shotgun, lever actions, muzzies,
Bushmaster 450,
muzzleloaders, rifles. Bring them on.
350 Legend. Oh, Bushmaster
44 Rem Mag, 357, 12 gauge shotgun, rifle barrel.
20 gauge shotgun.
20 gauge if you're really feeling a little frisky.
Yeah.
Maybe a Muzz, maybe a 40, maybe a 50, maybe a 45.
Or your bow.
Or your bow if you're really crazy like me. And you know what? Maybe you got a shoulder injury. Maybe, or maybe you're just feeling a little frisky. Maybe you get a late Muzz tag and decide to do a little crossbow hunting. You do that now in Iowa with a Muzz tag. Not with your archery tag, with a Muzz tag, which is the second half split up archery, so it's kind of de facto. But still, you want to do a little crossbow action. You know, if you're feeling really frisky, take yourself out a handgun. I know a guy that really likes hunting with a handgun. Put a little red dot on there, a little iron sight action.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So really getting into the weeds here.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I saw like there's something like clicking over here every time I'm moving. What is that? What is going on? What is making that noise? Okay. Oh, look at that.
The cookie came loose.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, at my end.
Sorry, technical difficulties here.
The cookie came loose.
Man, I'll tell you what. I'm sure somebody who's driving down the road going, what is that click noise?
Yep. Sorry, guys.
Sorry, hey, listen, let's just see. Yep, good.
Yep. That my cookie came loose.
Yep. Meaning the on the bottom of the leg of the
Little-
table.
Little spacer.
No, but so we've been doing a little bit of bow hunting here, trying to get last couple sets in. And, you know, you never know. The harder you work, the luckier you get. I'm a huge advocate to hunt as hard the last day as you do the first day.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely towards the last days of the archery split.
Yep.
First half. So trying to keep hunting hard. But the one thing about when you get into the first part of December, not in a lot of years recently, but this year, Mother Nature decided to say, you know what? I'm not in a good mood. You're going to get it.
Bring on the cold.
Yep. And I'm going to give you a foot of snow. And I'm going to give you not even 30 degrees, not 20 degrees, not 10 degrees, 0 degrees, negative degrees before wind chill.
Yeah.
So she's really pouring it on.
Yeah.
She's in a real mood right now.
She's ticked.
Yeah, she's just not having it. So the end of the first half of the archery split has been a little rough.
Yeah.
And even during season, Nick, I was like, oh, what are you wearing? What do you wear for gear? It's always this balancing act of trying to wear enough, but you don't want to get sweated up. You don't want to get cold.
And you don't want to be too bulky.
Yep, you don't want to be too bulky. And so we're just going to go through kind of what I feel like my gear is pretty set.
Yeah.
You have been doing a little bit more fluctuation this season.
I feel so much better where I'm at right now, though, compared to years past. Holy cow.
Yeah. Well, and again, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
'cause-
Yeah.
yeah, we'll get into it. But so the other context is this week has been a bit cold.
Yep.
This week has laid out definitely the coldest sets for me thus far this year.
Yeah. Oh,
Even
for
you
sure.
could even say in the year of 2025.
Yeah.
I don't think I did any sets in January, the end of last year, that were this cold.
Well, we had late muzzleloader season when Zip and Benny were down. We hunted a day that was really cold.
Were they here in December or January?
January. This was in January. It was our last sit that we did, and it was, I want to say it was like around 3 degrees maybe. It was
Okay.
really cold.
Okay. So yeah, we're about right there right now.
Yeah.
Like I said, so I did a morning set the other day before work,
Mm-hmm.
and my truck said, when I got my truck at the farm, it said 5. Then when I got to the gate at the field, it said 8.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got back to my truck, it said 6,
Yeah.
with moisture in the air, like this dense fog. Ice, frosty stuff.
Yeah, it
I
was
don't even know
weird.
what it was. It was like just really overcast.
Yeah.
Everything was pure white.
Mhm.
By the time I got done, my bow was white.
Yeah.
I'm like, uh-oh. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
looking around, I'm like, well, the only thing that's not covered in this like white crystal stuff is me. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, and that must mean my body is like just pushing out the heat,
Yeah.
because it didn't accumulate on me yet, but it was all over the place.
Mhm.
So yeah, I did a sit the other day in a tree stand at like single digits. Yesterday, went out, snuck out late in the afternoon. It was 20 degrees when I left the truck, and it was 6 degrees when I got back.
It was very cold.
That was really cold. And that bad thing about that one was the wind.
Mm-hmm.
It was about a 10 to 15, 18 mile an hour wind out of the northwest.
Yeah.
And I was in a tree line like 100, 150 yards, but you could still definitely feel it.
Yeah.
It was really, really hitting me.
Yeah.
You know when you're sitting on cold weather, when you get back and your just cheeks are just all red.
Yeah.
And like nice thing you tell with this beard is I get the old icicle boogers in
Yeah,
the
exactly.
beard. I get those going on. But yeah, so let's go through it. What we wear.
'Kay.
You want to start? You want to start from the top to the bottom, or the bottom to the top?
I say in to out.
Oh, really? Wow. See, I was gonna go. So you do it from in to out, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna say it from not even from top to bottom. I'm gonna say it from highest priority to lowest priority
Okay.
of what keeps you warm.
Okay. Got it.
So you go for it.
All right, so first off, the first thing that I wear is Sitka heavyweight long johns. I wear those. And then this is something I switched up this year for the really cold. Normally I always, no matter when I'm hunting, I wear one of those Under Armour long sleeves that have like the little bit of a turtleneck on them. I ended up ditching that for this cold stretch because I was thinking, I'm like, man, I just feel like I have too many layers. And I have a Sitka heavyweight, I think it's Sitka heavyweight base layer or something like that. But I was like, I feel like I might be warmer if my first layer wasn't so tight to me, if I could get some air in there, some breathability. And so I ended up ditching the Under Armour long sleeve. And then I wear that Sitka heavyweight. And then I wear the Sitka Fanatic hoodie. And then I wear the Sitka Ambient 100, I think.
Yep.
It's the 100. And then for my pants, I wear fleece-lined Carhartt pants. And then over top of that, I have the Sitka Fanatic set, which is new to me this year. And that has been an absolute lifesaver for me. Those bibs have been awesome. And we actually didn't really talk about this when we talked about shooting Skinny Pete, but I really don't think I would have been able to shoot him if I didn't have that. I literally got it like 2 days before that hunt.
Well, it's funny because that's the Fanatic set has been. I feel like you've been talking about your outer set since the day I met you.
Yeah, I know.
I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so.
No, you did.
I said the Fanatic set the whole time.
Yeah, you said the Fanatic set from the get, but I'm
From the
like,
get-go.
man, I just don't know if I need something that warm.
But see, that's what's interesting too about you. From what I've known you, you've been pretty warm-blooded.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, you're getting real cold-blooded.
Yeah, it's weird.
You're getting to be like me.
Yeah.
You used, like, when I first met you, you go out with like hardly gloves on. I'm like,
Yeah.
bro, aren't your
Well,
hands cold?
I still do that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're exactly right. Because before that, all I had was the Sitka Stratus set,
Yep.
which has pretty dang light.
Yeah, you had the Strata set, which is more of like a
Mid-season,
mid-season
yeah.
lightweight set.
Yeah,
And then after that, you had the Strata set the whole time.
Stratus set the whole time.
And then
yeah.
you just tried to layer underneath
I
of
tried
it.
to layer underneath,
Oof.
and it was just
And
getting to the
I was like, man, dude, that cannot be enough.
well, not enough. And by the time you get so many layers on, you can barely move.
Yeah.
You look like the Michelin Man up there.
Well, the
And-
Michelin Man and this, yeah, exactly, yeah, yeah.
And but yeah, man, literally that it was only my second hunt with the Fanatic set, and that was when we sat in that rain. And man, I stayed pretty dang warm. I mean, warm enough
Even in the rain.
Even in the rain. So it's like, man, this stuff is really.
It was a
legit.
rain, snow at like 30, 33 to 32 to 31 degrees
Mhm.
all throughout the day.
Yeah, and I stayed pretty warm.
Couldn't make up its mind.
Yeah, I'm like I stayed pretty warm, so I'm like, God, this stuff is really nice. So I've been doing really good on, kind of my core staying nice and warm. I feel like this is the best I've ever felt in cold weather for sure. And I know what everything I just said seems like a lot of layering, but it's all really small stuff, like thin layered stuff. And it just, you can move really easily in it. You can stay warm, all the above. But anyways, and then I wear Darn Tough socks, they're called. It's like a merino wool sock. They're just really heavy and don't sweat too much. And then I have Sitka rubber boots that I wear. Those
There's
have been
two different types of new Sitka rubber boots they have out.
uh-huh.
They have like, I don't know what you would
It's
describe.
called the
They've got like a lighter set insulation and then a heavier set insulation, right? Or that's not a good way to describe it?
they're about the same for like cold weather stuff, but it's just a different build. Like one of them is there's two of them. There's one that's higher end, which is called like the Vent Light GTX or something like that, and then there's one called the Back 40 boot. I got the Back 40 boot. It's just a little bit cheaper, and I don't wear rubber boots all the time, so I just figured get the cheaper pair.
And those are how much insulation?
800 grams of insulation. But then the Vent Light ones, I don't know. I don't even know what it is. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but But anyways, yeah, I wear those boots. They've been pretty good. I mean, if there's one thing that's getting kind of cold, it's probably my feet. And then for my gloves, I just wear, I don't know what they're called, but they're the Sitka ones that have the no covers on the thumb and index finger. I just wear that just so like when I'm filming, I just have like dexterity in my hands actually, and it, I just don't like messing with big gloves when I'm up there.
Yep.
And then I always wear my Carhartt hat, my Carhartt beanie over my hat all the time, pretty much every hunt. And then just any neck gaiter that I have.
Yep.
So that's what I've been wearing.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yep. But yeah, no, it's been working really, really good actually.
Yeah, you get a little system down.
Yeah, I've been feeling really good up there. And years past, I mean, there's been very few hunts where it's like actually been like, okay, I can't do this anymore. But for some reason, I feel way more comfortable this year than any other year.
Yeah.
So it's been working really well.
Yeah, it's interesting for me because for me, if it's any temp to like 30 degrees, I don't even really think about it that much.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, but when we start to get into this from 30 to 20 degrees, I'm a little bit more cognizant of what I'm doing. But if it's 20 degrees to 0, I'm very aware of what I'm wearing and what I'm doing. And if it's 20 to -10, then I'm really honing in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, I think the main priority is my hands and my feet.
Yep.
I have, and I don't even know, I've heard it said a million different ways. I have this thing called Raynaud's where the blood vessels in my fingers and in my toes, doesn't really happen in my toes much, it happens in my hands a lot. The blood vessels will constrict and my hands will turn pure white. It looks really bizarre. And they just are numb. It's like you just can't feel anything.
Yeah.
And when the blood vessels loosen up or whatever, unconstrict, if that's a word, and the blood starts, going again, it hurts.
Yeah.
Feels like needles.
Yeah.
And doesn't happen very often because I'm very aware of that. And so I'm always, Nick knows I should have bought stock in hand warmer companies because I have a lot of hand warmers.
Yeah.
And I've gone through the plethora. I've used electronic hand warmers. I've used everything under the sun, and just the good old grabber or hot hands hand warmers, the advertised 8 to 12 hour hand warmers, which basically are just one hunt and that's it.
Yeah.
If it's, and I'll even use them on like some warmer days. Like if it's 40 degrees, I got hand warmers in.
Yeah.
I just don't even like to chance it.
Yeah.
Because once my hands turn, it's a point of no return.
Yeah.
You're not going back.
Yeah.
So, it's always usually one set of hand warmers in my gloves, like in my palms all the time. When it gets to be under 20 degrees, I run 2 sets. I run one set in my gloves, and then I have another set that are warm, like in my pocket of my pants or my pocket of my overalls.
Yeah.
And then when I get up in there, I have both sets like readily available. Because it seems like when you fiddle with those hand warmers, you fiddle with them too much, it's almost like they cool down.
Yeah, they do for sure.
Whereas if you just let them kind of sit, they just kind of radiate. So then at times I'll switch them out. I'll put the pair that I've been messing with, get rid of those, put those in there, and then grab the newer or the ones that haven't been messed with, put those in and do my thing that way.
Yeah.
But so hands are a big thing for me. I wear this time of year in really, really cold weather, I wear like Wells Lamont, where just like heavy duty work gloves.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had really great luck with those. You do feel like you got banana fingers. And then if it's a little not so bad, I wear the same type of Sitka gloves or just other Wells Lamont, like thin gloves. So, but right now in this 0 to 20 degree weather, I'm wearing Danner boots. They're 1,200 gram thin slit. And it's kind of funny for how much I talk about, like I don't say any of this in a braggadocious way, but like I'm pretty proud and set on what I do. And I feel pretty good about staying warm, but it's like the way I do with my feet seems kind of different or irresponsible. Cause like I wear 1,200 gram thin slit boots, but I've been wearing cotton socks, which is kind of an oxymoron because cotton isn't exactly the perfect thing.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is for me is my feet sweat terrible.
Yeah.
They just sweat. And I know people may listen to, well, they sweat in cotton socks. Yes, they do. But if I wear wool socks or anything else, they sweat too.
Yeah.
What I don't like about wool socks or all that type of stuff is like when my feet start to get real tight in my boot, then I feel like that kind of constricts the
Right.
blood flow too. So
Yeah.
whereas with cotton socks, I can kind of leave them a little bit looser.
Yeah.
So I wear 1,200 gram thin slit Danner boots, and then I'll wear cotton socks. If I really want to take to the next level, I have Thermacell heated insoles. Those really get to be an absolute game changer. I have 2 sets of batteries. So if I'm doing like a morning set and then an afternoon, I can have one set in the morning and put the other set in the afternoon. They're powered on an app on your phone. I'm telling you, go buy a set. I really, really like those.
Yeah.
To turn them on with the app, they have like a low, medium, high. And what I always say with those is don't turn them on until you start to feel the bite of the cold. Then just turn them on one level. And it's wild how when you have warm feet, you realize how much cold feet can be a distraction. You're just thinking about it all the time.
Yeah.
And so when my feet start to get cold, I turn them on low and I just take the bite away. And then if I feel the bite again, I turn them up one more. I never run them on the high.
Yeah.
A lot of times what I do is I turn them on and I turn them back off.
Yeah.
But so heated insoles work really good for me. But then the other thing, again, you see me doing this all the time. Anything really probably under like 35 degrees or 40 degrees and under, I really swear by the Arctic Shield boot covers.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yep.
I really like those. Again, I feel like when I wear those, I realize how much my feet are pushing out heat. Like I said, I was out there yesterday and it was single digits with wind. When I got done at the end of the night and I sat down and I went to take those boot covers off, they were froze.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just frozen like my boot position. I could hardly get them off. And again, it's just that there's just moisture coming off your feet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so I really like those boot covers. They're quiet enough. They're easy enough to put on and off. The zipper on the back works good. It's got a drawstring on the front. In years past, I had, instead of using those 1,200 gram thin slit, I was really using a pair of Kenetrex boots that were 400 gram thin slit. Man, those felt way, way, way warmer than 400 grams.
Yeah.
I could wear those 400 gram thin slit Kenetrex and put those boot covers on and be good in weather like this. It was crazy. I remember like the first time I experienced it, I got done in an afternoon. I'm like, my feet aren't cold.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy. I'm looking at these boots. I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know what is different about them, but man, they are warm
Yeah.
but breathable too, because my feet didn't seem to really sweat a ton.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what gets me as
When you
much
sweat.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just my feet get sweaty. And like you said, I haven't done this recently, but there have been times when it's been the rut and I'm wanting to do an all-day sit that I will bring an extra pair of socks or 2 extra pair, walk. If I'm having to do a walk, I'll walk in, take the 5 minutes, take my boots off, put a dry pair of socks on, put my boots back on, climb up in the tree.
Yeah.
Middle of the day, climb back down, take those socks that got a little bit sweaty off, put a clean pair on.
Yeah.
Or even just take your socks off and get your feet in your hands and just warm them up for a few minutes, put your
Yeah.
socks back on. But like you said, my feet just sweat.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm spending a lot of time on your feet and your hands, but for me, I think it's the extremities that get you the majority of the
For
time.
sure.
There's so much good gear out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, tons of great brands. I mean, you can go through the plethora, you know, whether it's Sitka gear, whether it's Code of Silence. They make
Yeah.
a bunch of great warm weather stuff,
Yep.
cold weather stuff, right?
Yep.
There's a bunch of really good stuff that's out there. First Light makes a bunch of great stuff. Dude, I have a set of that First Light. It's like, I think it was called their Sanctuary set.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh my gosh, dude. That stuff is crazy warm.
Yeah.
That's my, oh crap, it's really, really, really cold.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get that stuff out. That
Yeah.
stuff is insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a bunch of great gear out there. But for me, I think it's the extremities is what gets you.
Yeah, for sure.
If your feet get cold, I don't care how much gumption you have. That can make for a long day.
Oh, yeah.
It can make for a long afternoon. It can make for a long morning.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, when you're sitting there and you're looking at your clock and it's 7:50 and you were planning on sitting till 10, now your brain's saying, you ain't sitting a minute past till 9.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're looking, it's like, okay, it's 8:25, let's go.
Yeah.
That sucks. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
So for me, it's extremities first. But then when it comes after that, I'm all about layering in a efficient way.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, so for me, I really like synthetic materials. I like synthetic materials that if they get wet, they dry quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The alternatives to synthetics could be like a wool material.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of wool anymore. I wear a lot of synthetics. So this might seem kind of odd, but I wear a Stone Glacier t-shirt, synthetic t-shirt. Synthetic t-shirt underneath everything. And then I wear a Fanatic hoodie. This real cold weather recently, I've been wearing a Stone Glacier synthetic long sleeve with a little hood. And then the Ambient, the Sitka Ambient 100. I swear by that thing.
Oh,
it's awesome because I love, like when I go to Alaska, I'm all about down, right? But I don't want the noise of down when I'm whitetail hunting. And the Ambient is like if down and quietness had a baby.
Yeah, yeah.
The Ambient hoodie is that.
Yep.
They make a even warmer version of that, which, geez, if you wore that, what would you even need to wear? Like
I don't know.
the Fanatic hoodie and the Ambient hoodie, and that's it?
Probably.
Yeah. But anyway, so I really like that. But the thing I think that 100 is so versatile, you can wear it. I've worn it as an outer layer earlier. Yeah. It's crazy. Just the loft and the Prima loft that's in it. It really is something.
Oh, yeah.
So again, it's a synthetic t-shirt, Fanatic hoodie, maybe a long sleeve synthetic t-shirt or long sleeve shirt with a hoodie, Ambient with a hoodie, and then Fanatic top and bottoms. On the bottom, I don't ever wear long johns. That's a big difference between you and me. You wear a lot of long johns. I just usually wear Carhartt pants. Mm-hmm. I wear Carhartt pants with nothing underneath of them, and then just the Fanatic set, basically from any degree down to about 20 degrees. If it's 20 and under, I'll put on a pair of flannel-lined Carhartt pants.
Yeah.
Which I really, really like.
Yeah, those have been nice.
Yep, but still no long johns ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like my set. And like I said, I really swear by that Fanatic set. It really, really does keep you warm.
Oh, yeah.
I think if I wanted to, if there was anything that I would do differently to add to that, I do like a good like windbreaker or like wind stopper material type, like Sitka makes or Gore makes like a wind stopper material. The Stratus vest. I like the Stratus vest.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, I kind of like to size vests down so they're tight. So like yesterday, it was 20 down to 6 degrees. The other day, it was like single digits the whole morning from, I got in the stand at 6 o'clock and I sat till 9. And, you know, it wasn't windy. But if it gets to be windy, I could see myself putting on that Stratus vest that's tighter and zipping that up and just having that just a little bit of a layer that bucks it a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I actually carry that Stratus vest in my pack in the bottom. If for the way in or out, I want just a little bit extra.
Mm-hmm.
But that's, I think, the big difference between you and me too is usually you're walking in with a lot more stuff on than me. You'll put on your bibs.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yep.
It kind of depends.
Yep. And like you'll kind of have more on the top.
Yeah.
I'll a lot of times keep, and if you looked at my pack from bottom to top,
Yeah.
it comes down to it sounds silly, but like when I reach in my pack, I want to grab the thing that I need next.
Mm-hmm.
So the very bottom of the pack is my binoculars, very bottom, because I put those on last. Next is my booties. Next is my jacket, and then my bibs, and then usually my Ambient.
Yeah.
So when I get to the tree, and then on top of my Ambient is my harness.
Yeah.
So when I get to the tree, the first thing goes on is the harness, the Ambient, then the harness.
Yeah.
And then would maybe be my bibs. Or sometimes a lot of times I feel like I just put my bibs on up in the tree. We have lifelines on every single one, and I just do it that way. Nick's going to tell a big story about this here in a second. I don't think it's that funny or that amazing, but
It's
or
just
whatever.
Crazy.
But so I walk in trying to stay as cool as I can. Even on these really single digit days, I like those Fanatic bibs. They unzip.
Yeah.
I will unzip them past my knees and feel that cold against my legs, but I'm just trying to stay cool.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm trying to stay cool. So that's why for most times I'm never wearing my bibs on the way in.
Yeah.
I'll go in, and again, without the Ambient on, just really just down to the Fanatic hoodie layer,
Yeah.
trying to stay cool. I'd rather be cold on the way in than be sweated up.
Yeah, it's got to be real cold for me to wear everything in. Unless if I take the bike. If I take the bike, I put everything on right at the truck and then just ride in and just climb up the tree. But for the most part, though, I've been doing a lot better at not wearing everything in. I try and fit everything in my pack, but the issue is a lot of times it's just the fact that I got so much stuff in my pack already with camera gear that sometimes I just feel like, okay, I'm just going to put this on just to kind of save some room. Then I don't got a gigantic backpack on, and it's so heavy. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, like I was saying before, it feels like the system that I got going right now is going really good. And it's funny too because it takes some time. I've been hunting my entire life, but I always just layered like crap. Just
Most people do.
put so much on, but it's like I feel like it gets to a point where it's kind of a diminishing return, where too many layers constricts you so much that it's really not doing its job. Whereas if you find the right stuff that, you know, you get a little breathability in there, you can still move. I think that's more, and you ultimately stay warmer.
Yeah. So then the other thing I was going to talk about with like my setup as well is for me, it's about form, but then it's really about functionality.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the other big thing is that's kind of different about you and me. I very rarely wear a stocking cap.
Yeah.
I'm mostly just a hat guy.
Yeah.
And then I wear lots of hoods.
Yep.
There'll be times like the other day, I had on the Fanatic hood, the synthetic hood, the ambient hood.
Mm-hmm.
I had 3 hoods on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It seems really silly.
Yeah.
And you see me, I'll like take them on and off as I go, like
Mm-hmm.
kind of regulating temperature.
Yeah.
And then I never wear a neck gaiter. The Fanatic has like a little gaiter / face mask.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll put that on my neck, but never wear a neck gaiter. And then for me, it's just really zipping and unzipping the hoodies.
Mm-hmm.
The Fanatic hoodie I'll zip. Sometimes I'll have, like last night when I was out and it was super single digits, I had every hoodie zipped up all the way.
Yeah.
And then had the Fanatic jacket zipped up all the way.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about that, again, I get lucky because I have a beard.
Yeah.
So it kind of keeps your face warm.
Yeah.
And the thing I get sometimes I don't like about gaiters is when you got them up over your face
Mm-hmm.
and your nose and you're trying to breathe, it can all get real wet and moist.
Mm-hmm.
And then and kind of like my nose already runs and it runs even more.
Yeah.
So I just usually just wear a hat and just have hoods on. And then if I get in the situation, a deer comes, you'll see me a lot of times, I'm kind of rip all my hoods off because with the way I anchor, I don't want to have a hood right there.
Yeah.
But then the other big thing from a functionality perspective is years and years ago, I used to wear, before the Fanatic set, I would always have like a hand warmer.
Like a little muff.
Yeah. I don't know what you call it, like a hand warmer.
Hand muff. Yeah.
Yeah, thing that you would put your hands in
Yeah.
that went around your waist and snapped.
Yeah.
Used to use that a lot. But now with that Fanatic set,
Built in.
I call it the kangaroo pouch.
Yeah.
I don't know what you call it. I just like said that to a jet window. I was like, I have the Fanatic vest. And when I take Jet out there, I'll make him put that vest on, which is so funny to look at him with that big old vest on. But I zip that up and I said, hey, put your hands in that kangaroo pouch. And he's kangaroo pouch. He thought that was so funny. I call it the kangaroo pouch, but it's got a built-in hand warmer.
Yeah.
The way it zips across and you put your hands right in there, and there's like a deal on the inside that you can put hand warmers inside of. Plus it's got a zipper right here, which is really technically like the kangaroo pouch.
Yeah.
But when it gets real cold, if it's like normal temp to 20 degrees, it's no gloves once I get in there, hand warmers inside the kangaroo pouch, and that's it. And I just keep my hands in there all the time, keeping them warm, holding on to those hand warmers.
Yeah.
When deer walk out, I take my hand on the bow, and I'll have my release in there too, and then I snap my release on, and then I'm good to go.
Yeah.
But the single digits, I have those thin pair of like leather Sitka gloves, put hand warmers in those on my palms, have hand warmers in the kangaroo pouch, and I keep my hands inside there.
Yeah.
And then once I take them out, I know it's a ticking time bomb. I know I only have so much time.
Oh yeah.
And I know that once I put my hand up on the bow, okay, fine. I'll keep a glove on. And like I said, I haven't run it yet. And I really need to get it on there. Like the C3 mitts, like the Better the Hunt mitt.
Yeah.
Like I wear that on my bow a lot to help keep my bow hand warm.
Yeah.
But like you said, this hand I'm okay with. This hand, it's as soon as I take my hand out, the countdown starts.
Yeah.
It's a brass. I use a brass thumb release.
release,
So
yeah.
brass, cold, cold.
Ice.
Yeah. So I try to keep that in my pocket as long as I can and then snap it on when I feel good that I'm not going to hear that little click or anything like that and I can get away with the movement. Sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you're picking it up and you're holding it for a while
Yeah.
and then my hand just goes gone.
Yeah.
And then you just try to tough it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's kind of my system of what I do. I know that was a really long explanation. But like you said, and then the only other thing that I have kind of in the arsenal is I have a pair of pack boots. They're like from Cabela's from forever ago. They're 3,000 gram thinsulate.
Yeah.
They actually have an inner boot that you put on first, and then you let slide your boot on there. And I've hunted in 40 below Fahrenheit. I did that one time. 40 below Fahrenheit is where Fahrenheit and Celsius meet, which is kind of crazy. I never knew that until we did it. But when it was 30, 40 below, I had heated insoles inside the boot liner and then had those inside my boots. And I've done that on like all day sits on single, like I've done all day sits in single digits and in the teens before. In November, we had one year that it broke real cold. And I did heated insoles inside the boot liner, then inside those 3,000 gram thinsulate, and then just turn those on and off every once in a while. But so, yeah, like you said, for me, it's all about hands and feet. I feel really good about what that Sick Fanatic set and just layering just what I need underneath of it. And again, to your point, trying to stay non-bulky.
Yeah.
Because it, you know, all of a sudden you're sitting up there and you kind of just feel like it just feels really restrictive. And then on top of it, you're trying to put on a bino harness, and that's big, and you've got it loosened up all the way. It just gets to be a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's been the biggest challenge for me for sure. I mean, I'm a bigger guy, so it's like I feel like the bulkiness affects bigger guys more.
Yeah.
Just because you're just bigger, you know. So the more stuff you put on, it gets to be a lot, and so I've been super stoked with this little system that we got going, and it's been working pretty good. So can't complain.
No, it works really good. And like you said, there's something to be said when you can sit out there in single digits.
Yeah.
You know, when you can sit out there in single digits, that's something.
Yeah.
And like
sure.
I said, there's people that may listen to this if you're in Minnesota, if you're in the Canadas, they're like, man, single digits, that sounds awesome.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah.
And it is what you're used to.
Yeah.
Like I said, that time that I got to do that hunt at 40 below, there was one day that it was 0. And dude, it felt like a heat wave.
I bet.
So it's just all about your perspective, what you get used to.
Yeah.
But for most of the Midwest, when we get into single digits and you're looking to go do an all day, you're looking to do a sit, that's that can be a rough day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think the big thing too about that is that I noticed for me, and I've noticed it with you too. We were out the other day, like doing some video stuff, and your hands started to get cold.
Yeah, right at the end.
Yep. And I noticed it for me too. The word that comes to mind is frantic.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, it's like you start speeding up and you get a little agitated and irritated.
Yeah.
And then you're not thinking everything completely through.
Yeah.
And now we're 18, 20 feet up in a tree stand.
Yeah.
And it's dark.
Yep.
And it's windy.
Yeah.
And you're tired and you want to get out of there.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's the thing about the cold that I think it can be dangerous in the fact that you're not going to want to stay out there all night. Something bad could happen just for the fact that it's that dang cold. But the real danger is the fact that you just kind of, you know, you're holding a really sharp knife and you just start flipping it around. You're not really paying attention.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? You just got to really keep your head about you
Yeah.
and, okay, stop. And I'll do that. And, you know, like you do the same thing. You're just like, okay, dude, I got to stop for a second and just sit there.
Yeah.
You've seen me where I'll go like this.
Yeah.
I've had people like, something wrong with your neck? I'm like, no, dude, I'm trying to warm up my hands. And I'll put my hands on the back of my neck.
Yeah.
You know, just try to get that little burst of warm.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is just trying not to get too ahead of yourself and then falling
Yeah.
or getting hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the thing. It's like when you're up in the air, it's just more challenges in that regard.
Yeah, exactly. And the frantic was the perfect word for what I was feeling because I got really cold when we started tearing down all the camera gear. And like with the camera gear, you got metal buckles, you got metal hooks that you're hanging stuff on. And it just, as soon as you touch any of that, it just instantly get cold. And then it's like your hands start to get a little bit numb. And you're like, well, crap, I'm handling this super expensive camera equipment. You every move has to be right. And it's like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is not good. Like my hands are totally toast right now. Like I need to take a break for a second. So like
Yeah.
Cole was saying, just stood there for a couple minutes and just got my hands back up, and then it worked. But yeah, it is. It they were fine the entire day pretty much, but then right when we started tearing down, it was like, oh man, my hands are
Well,
completely frozen.
and I was joking with you when I was out yesterday afternoon. Again, I was wearing 1,200 gram thin sole boots with cotton socks with those boot covers over them. Felt really good the whole time. And then all of a sudden, I'm kind of sitting there, and I notice, you kind of feel I talk about like the bite.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that kind of cold bite, and it's like, oh man. And then it starts to kind of feel a bit more uncomfortable, and then a bit more uncomfortable, and then you're like, gosh, my feet are cold.
Yeah.
You just know it, right? Like you can look at me, or I can look at you and be like, are you cold? It's like, dude, my feet are cold.
Yeah.
Or you think I would say, man, my feet are gone.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, gosh, my feet are totally gone. And then all of a sudden, a little time had gone by, and I'm like, huh, my feet don't feel that bad. And you always do the wiggle test.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You just do the old like this with your feet. I did that. And I was like, oh, my feet are numb. Perfect. I was like,
yeah.
well, I guess I wasn't being cold anymore.
Yeah.
Because, it's almost like, we've all been there, played any sports, get down to practice, twist your ankle, roll your ankle. All right, get do the ice bath. 5-gallon bucket full of ice or the tub and stick your whole leg in there.
Yeah.
And the worst part is the first 5 minutes.
Oh yeah.
The next 15 of that 20-minute ice is nothing because it's just numb.
Yeah.
You don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Wiggle the toes, you feel it. But if you just sit there, nothing happens.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think the other thing too about the cold is it's a mental grind.
Oh yeah.
Just
Big
as much
time.
mental as it is physical.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the thing that I always just remember is the truck is just up the way.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're not in the middle. We're not like 100 miles away from anything.
Yeah.
It's not like we only have to walk back to a tent that we're going to jump inside of a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
We got the truck,
Yeah.
get that thing cranked up, warm back up then.
Yep. You're safe.
Yeah, you're not going to maybe you could get frostbite, I guess, but like for the most part, you're going to get warm back up,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. But yeah, that's the other thing too, is I'm always like, oh, well, I'm cold, but I'll be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Like even that day that you shot Skinny Pete, we're sitting there and it was 30, 31, 32, 33, 31, 32 degrees, raining, snowing, getting more and more wet as the day went on. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm uncomfortable, but like, I'm not going to die.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
No doubt.
And
Yeah.
good.
That was a big time. Yeah. It's going into a kind of a tangent here, but that was just a mental grind. I just remember just being so annoyed by the sound of rain just hitting your head constantly.
Oh, that's funny.
It's just like, oh my gosh, it was just constant for however many hours we sat there in it. And it was just constantly. And I don't know why, but that just like, it just annoyed the crap out of me.
What was getting me frustrated that day was I was, again, the Fanatic set doesn't have a hood.
Mm-hmm.
I had hoods on, but you're sitting there and you're kind of you're kind of scrunched up. You're doing everything you can.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden I'm sitting there and I kind of went like this. I was like, oh, what the heck? And I reached my hand back like on my outside of my hoods, and I went like that, and it was wet.
Oh yeah.
And all that, the rain had wetted down my hoods, and it was wet on my skin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh crap. Like, okay, this sucks now.
Yeah.
This sucks now.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not excited about that.
Yep.
So yeah, but well, yeah, and that's the thing about like good gear, like I've heard this like when I've been in Alaska, and I always have said this to guys, and I've heard this said to me, like when you go in the mountains, it's all about waterproof, good rain gear, keeping yourself dry. And it's like, I don't care what it is. If it rains long enough and if you walk through the wet long enough, you're going to get wet.
Yeah, exactly.
But the difference is can you be comfortable?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's the big thing about the cold too, is if you sit in the cold long enough, it's going to get cold.
Yeah, exactly.
But can you be comfortable?
Yeah.
Or are you like, nope, I'm out of here?
Yeah.
And does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Can you stand it? Can you last it?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? And I think that's the thing with the type of gear that's out there now. If you layer up right and you do the right things, you can make it through.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, for sure.
How about entirely like you're not going to feel, you're not going to feel like you're sitting in a hot tub.
No.
It's 6 degrees outside in a 10, 15 mile an hour, 25 mile an hour wind. You're going to be cold,
Yeah.
but can you just muster it up?
Is it bearable?
Can you do enough that if a deer walks in, you can ethically pull off a shot?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So
Yep.
that's my whole thing.
Yeah.
Is it? That was the other thing. that's the other thing that you start to notice when you start hunting cold weather is I get hungry when I get out of there. Man, as soon as I hit the truck, my body's like, all right, time to eat. It's just like, time to put on the feed bag.
Yeah.
You could feel your body just going, because it takes a lot of calories just to stay warm. It's pushing out heat all the time. Hey, man, gotta stay warm,
Oh, yeah.
Man, when I get back, I get hungry.
Yeah, I see that with my diabetes too.
Well, yeah, the ebbs and flows.
You can just tell that my body's just kind of freaking out a little bit, but
yeah.
Yeah, you're so right. Everything, it's just wild. Like you can go and do a hunt in early October and hunt in the afternoon, and you get home after, and you're just like, oh yeah, I had a hunt tonight, whatever.
Yeah.
Now you sit for like 2 hours in this cold, and you get home, and you're just like, whoa.
Well, that's the other thing too is it makes me sleepy.
Oh, it takes so much out of me.
I got home the other day after we went, and I didn't even say anything to the kids, but I just got home and Jet right up to me. He's like, "You went hunting?" And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "I can tell. I can see it in your face."
Yeah.
I'm like, see it in my face? He's like, "You look tired." I'm like, "Huh?" I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a true statement.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
But
I'll tell you what, something that I sometimes will do as well. I actually did this on my last all-day sit that day that I had that encounter with Brutus.
mm-hmm.
That was in a double stand, a double ladder stand that you have room. You're not just a hang on where you're just kind of just sitting on a hang on. I brought that brown blanket.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just brought that and I just kind of threw it over my shoulders, threw it over my legs, had it underneath of me.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, if I've got the room in my pack and I don't mind just that little extra bit of weight,
Yeah.
I'll just bring a blanket.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring a blanket. There used to be this thing years and years ago. I maybe it's still around. It's called half in the bag. It was like this deal that had a platform. It was like a base to it. And it had a zippered bag that unzipped down the middle. And you could get inside of it and stand on this little platform thing, zip it up, and it had shoulder suspenders. And it went up to about here.
Sounds like a heater bodysuit.
Well, it was very much like a heater bodysuit, but it was kind of a different iteration of that.
Okay.
Heater bodysuits very similar. They had separate legs and separate arms, and then you could kind of pull it off and step out of it. I've used those two. Those heater bodysuits are really, really awesome. They're very bulky.
Okay.
This half in the bag thing, you could roll the bag up and it kind of go inside this little rectangle base. Not really platform, it was like a base, right? And then it kind of had these snaps, and it was pretty minimal. And I got one. I bought one. Or, I was like, oh, I'm going to try this. And there was a few years there that I used that a ton.
Really?
Yeah, I still have it somewhere. And I thought about that the other day. I'm like, gosh, man, I wonder if I should bring the half of the bag. What I didn't like about it is there wasn't a lot of extra room, okay, for your feet. First off, when you stood on the base, you're standing on it. So, to move back and forth, there's only so much movement you're going to be able to do. Does that make sense? So you could kind of shuffle your feet one way or the other. The other thing is your legs were always straight.
Oh, okay.
You don't realize when you're sitting out there how much you maybe just kind of splay your legs out and kind of stretch your legs left to right, your knees out and in.
Yeah.
None of that.
Yeah.
You're just staying right here. You go like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's times that I would have to unzip it and kind of just like step out and kind of stretch like, God dang.
Mm-hmm.
But it kept you warm.
Yeah.
And again, a lot like boot covers, you realize how much heat you're radiating.
Yeah.
Well, all of a sudden now you're just trapping all the heat in.
Yeah.
So guess what? Endo facto, you're staying warm.
Yeah.
That's the idea behind those heater bodysuits. Same thing.
Yeah.
And so and like I said, before the chance that I've had to hunt with a heater bodysuit or this half of the bag thing, man, back in the day when I was a kid in high school, I used to just have an old sleeping bag.
Yeah.
I had the old like brown plaid on the inside, and that thing looked bad. It looked rough. It should have been thrown in the dumpster.
Yeah.
But guess what? That was my thing. And I would just get out there and I'd sit on the ground and I'd step inside of it, zip it up, and then I'd plop on the ground and I would just sit in a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
And if I needed to, I would just put my hands inside the sleeping bag.
Yeah.
I do that with Jet now. It's probably the wrong color. It's blue, which they say deer sea blue, but whatever.
Yeah.
I have, and we usually are using like a ghillie net.
Yeah, exactly. It's
But-
covered.
Yeah, all right, buddy, here we go. And he knows, he kind of sticks his legs out, and I pull him up in that sleeping bag, and I put him in a sleeping bag, and it just keeps your body heat in.
Right.
So that's kind of the next step. Like let's say that like during late season, I'm like, you know what? It is going to be so cold and so good. I'm going to just do it all day. That's probably what I would try to do.
Yeah.
Something like that. I still have the half in the bag, or I would bring a sleeping bag.
Right.
I'd do something to try to, if I was going to be up in a stand like that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the one thing I bring that I didn't mention is in the mornings is just a thing of coffee. I don't know what it is, but come 8, 9 o'clock, pull that sucker out, just have a swig of hot coffee. It's just insane how you just feel the warmth just go right down your body. It is awesome. I
Yeah.
wish that you were a coffee drinker because it is so awesome.
yeah, I can't drink coffee.
Yeah.
I could probably do that with like hot chocolate.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I could do that with like hot chocolate, but I couldn't do coffee.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Maybe next time we hunt, maybe we'll do that. Instead of getting coffee, I'll get hot chocolate.
Ooh, that
And then
would be
I'll
good.
let you have a little sip.
Yeah, that would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, the other thing to mention, like I said, we are in the last week of the first full week in December, right before the shotgun season's here. When this podcast episode, first shotgun season weekend will have happened.
Mm-hmm.
But rut report is there are does definitely still in.
For sure.
There are bucks definitely still rutting. I was out yesterday. I saw 3 bucks, 13 does. All 2 of the 3 bucks that I saw were acting very, very ruddy.
Yep.
The first buck that I saw, there was a doe and a yearling that came through. I was sitting in this place we call the Flat. We got Turkey Ridge, this big ridge that kind of wraps around and goes off to the west. As far as I could see back in there, it's white, so you can see him from ways out.
Yeah.
This doe and yearling came through, and she was doing the old tiptoe 2-step.
Yep.
You know, she was kind of walking fast, trotting, then stopping, looking back, you know, kind of frantic, like, oh, let's go this way. And then she was tiptoeing and trotting, walking, looking back. I'm like, okay, who's following you? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And not but 5 minutes later, a little 8-pointer, he walked down every step. She tried to fool him too. She walked to the left. She got on right on the crest of this ridge. She walked to the left, then she walked back to the right, then she walked back to the left again. He got there. He went to the left. He went to the right. He didn't go back left. And then he got off of her trail, but I watched him. Then he looped around and he found it again, and off he went. And so he was definitely on top of it. And then right towards dark, I had 5 does in one group and another single doe and like a 110-inch 10-pointer come out. He went over and checked all those 5, but he was after the one that he'd already kind of pulled off to the side. And she went off to the south, and he kind of did his thing. And then, she's getting too far, and off he went.
Mm-hmm.
And then you drove around.
Yep.
And just did a little
Yeah.
deer check.
Yeah. I had some stuff I had to do in the office, so I couldn't get out in time. So I just, at the end of the workday, I just drove out to where we hunt and just did a little loop around the block, and about a mile's safe to say, maybe a little over a mile west.
Mile to a mile and a half.
I think I looked, it was 1.13, but anyways, yeah, a mile and a half away. Saw a nice, probably 120-inch buck, just absolutely dogging a doe. Ran her right across the road, right in front of my truck. And there was 2 other does in the field, and he didn't care about them at all. He was just chasing this one doe like crazy, just running her into the ground. I mean, he was right on her, full tilt. It was kind of crazy to see. So they went across the road to where I couldn't see him. So then I pulled up, and about 200 yards later.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. This is what you're about to say deserves a double wah 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 wah.
Yeah, this one bums me out big time. But yeah, about 200 yards down the road, all of a sudden I could see a buck. There's like a cedar patch kind of coming down, and then it gets to the road. And I look up and I could just see rack. I'm like, oh, that looks like a nice buck. What the heck? Who is that? Gets onto the road, stops right in the road, and just looking right at me. I'm like, I know exactly what deer that is, for sure. And then he gets up and he's skylined and he's kind of running diagonal. I'm like, oh my gosh, no. It's Bentley buck that.
We've had a couple. I had an encounter with 2 different times.
2 different times. He was daylight recently.
Yeah.
He was, actually really recently. Like last week, I think he was.
Down at the river.
And I'm like, no. Because it definitely feels like he is like back to where he lives and he doesn't live right on us. Because, I mean, he showed up, I think, October 12th, I think.
Yeah,
he showed up for the first time.
Yeah, like we talked about as season came closer, like, man, it's gonna be really interesting to see like the Bucks move in and out and things like that. And Bentley definitely moved in.
Yeah, he moved in for sure.
Yeah, that's where he wanted to be, where he wanted to rut. He wanted to be all over us.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so it felt like, okay, like, yeah, it was cool to see a chase go down, but it's also the other half of it is like these bucks are gonna start moving back to their real core area.
Yep.
And it definitely kind of feels like that might be the end of the story with that buck this year. I mean, who knows? Weirder things have happened. Maybe he'll get bumped over by gun hunters or something. Who knows? But kind of a kick in the shorts there a little bit.
Well, and that's why, like I said, still not in a real great mood. My bumness level has not gotten deeper. I'm starting to come out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
But still a little bummed about Brutus. And like what we saw with Bentley yesterday, or what you saw, is kind of what keeps me in my bummed state of mind.
Yeah.
Is it feels like, for us especially, in the fact that, I don't feel like we're like 100% where all these bucks live.
Definitely not.
No, we're not the middle of the record like we've talked about. We're kind of on the edges. And when you get past the first split of archery, I feel like you're just kind of waving goodbye.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, man, good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Probably not going to see you again. You're probably going to get shot. 1 out of the 5 of you are going to make it through, or 2 out of the 5 of you are going to make it through.
Yeah.
And so Brutus, Bentley, No Name, No Fly Zone.
Yeah, the only thing about No Fly Zone is we had him in the summer last
Zombie.
year. Yeah.
It just feels like, yeah, you're right. But you know what I'm saying? It just feels like we get into these gun seasons and you look over where we hunt and you can say, oh, there's a box blind. There's a box blind. Oh, there's a box blind.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, that box blind is in a really, really great spot. Yeah. Oh, that's right over Standing Beanfield. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Bentley.
Yeah.
Don't go that way.
Yeah.
Run back here.
Yeah.
But so it's just, and again, that's the nature of the beast. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But it does just kind of feel like,
yeah, I think
it's just like World Traveler. Like World Traveler, he found his final destination. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, we're thinking that he probably was shot on the neighbors.
Probably.
Just because he was always into just risky business. He ran a lot. He was
ran a lot.
Always all over. I mean, we had cameras 2 miles away. We had
World Traveler. He lived up to his name, and
Yeah.
you know what? He eventually got grounded.
I mean, who knows? Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe he's still alive somewhere, but I don't know. I highly doubt it.
Yeah. But yeah, when you, like you said, it's just interesting. Yeah.
No, the thing that I was just going to say is I feel like we never said this to each other, but we both kind of thought it. To me personally, I was like, Brutus, I feel like we have a decent chance of getting him. I mean, he's still been consistent on Red Moons.
Yeah,
He was
has been.
always on the river, on the corn. The corn is still going to be a good spot, I think, at some point. But for some reason, I just had a feeling like if we don't get Brutus, I feel like we still got a good chance at potentially Bentley, maybe. Now I don't feel that way.
See, I felt like we have no chance at any buck after I saw Brutus. That felt like the zombie walking, and it was done. And there's obviously still does in,
Mm-hmm.
and just like I just saw last night.
Yeah.
But it's not the cranks.
Yeah.
It's the smaller bucks. The big ones are like shutting it down.
Well, except for the one that you saw the other day that we hadn't had on camera since. That's a good sign, at least.
Yeah.
But again,
But even that that doe kind of came in that
Yeah.
thicket, and then she just walked out, and he just followed her,
yeah,
and then got up on the ridge, and then she like did the old kind of, she was doing the sneaky two-step,
Mhm.
got out of there. He stood there for a long time. He was like, okay, and he just turned and walked away.
yeah, exactly.
So-
You can't really put stock in that.
Yeah.
But-
But yeah, like you said, it just kind of feels like, yeah, you never know. And it's interesting too, because all this, like the cornfield that we've been so excited about, is under a foot of snow.
Yeah.
It is under a foot.
It's really deep.
And honestly, I think the thing that's going to help us with that is the turkeys,
Yeah,
because they are out there scratching.
there's so many.
Holy
turkeys.
cow. I mean, it looks like they just took
Hundreds of them.
like they took like a rake,
Yeah.
and they just raked all the snow away.
Mhm.
And guess where those deer went? Right to those spots.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I was even thinking about that. I'm like, gosh, maybe that's what we need to do. Just bring out a shovel and we'll just clear out a spot and just
Mhm.
make a spot for them.
Yeah.
Not like we're gonna put anything there, but it just opens up
Opens it up,
exposes up
yeah.
the ground that
Yeah.
they'll just go and just mingle Mally through and just do what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, this is way off subject, but this is so funny. Yesterday, I wish I should have. You know, iPhones have this new thing with Siri that you can like take a picture or a video of something, and then you can ask it to use like
Yeah.
ChatGPT and try to figure out what else. I should have done that. So I would have liked to know what bird it was. There's a little Tweety bird with a little small pointy beak. It was black and maybe gray, or black and white, but it was. I saw it earlier, and it was kind of flying around, and it would like, you know, and they like land on the tree, like crunk. They land on a tree, and they're like almost upside down. You're like,
Yeah.
how are you doing that? Like, how does the world look right when you're sitting upside down? Like, why don't
Yeah.
you just sit like normal?
Yeah.
You know, they're like hanging off the tree, and they're like looking like this, and you're like, what the heck are you doing? So I'm kind of watching these birds like passing the time, and a little while later, probably wasn't the same one, but I was thinking it was the same one. All of a sudden, this little Tweety bird comes up. He lands like right by me, and he's got one kernel of corn. You could tell he was like, heck yeah, you know?
Dinner.
Yeah. He's holding on to this kernel of corn with his beak, and I'm thinking, okay, bro, what are you gonna do with that thing? You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, are you gonna try to swallow it whole?
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? So he's sitting there looking around with it. He's just got it clenched in his little beak, you know? He's like sitting there. Then all of a sudden, and again, he's standing like vertically the wrong way. So he's looking down the tree, right? So his body is like looking down. He takes it, he puts it in his foot, like in between his little foot, and then he just like pecking at it. I'm like, bro, you're gonna drop it. I'm like, there's a little V in the tree. I'm like, just go stand in the V and set it down. You're gonna drop it. He didn't drop it. He kept it in his foot, and he pecked at it. And then he like got it just a little cracked, and he like ate it. Dude, so here I am with my binos. This thing's at like 7 yards, and I'm like watching it with like absolute intent. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, you go, man. Good job. You know, it's just like, but how we found that, dude, there's one kernel of corn, and that was underfoot. So how did he get it? Did he just like dive in the snow and like burrow around? Or he must have maybe went to those turkey scratch spots
Had to have.
and just found a piece, and off he went.
That's funny.
There's something else that happened yesterday that I was really surprised about that I haven't experienced before. So I'm sitting there on the flat with a northwest wind, okay? And we're kind of tucked in there, so there's not as good of a chance a deer can get behind you. But of course,
Mm-hmm.
if they come from the tongue, they're going to get behind you.
Yeah.
So, and I'm trying to look head on a swivel, I'm looking around. Mostly I'm thinking you're going to come from the west. I'm not looking a ton to the east or to the southeast. And finally I look back there, and there's a buck standing in the creek.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh crap. So I'm looking at him, and he's like a it was funny because he's bigger than a small one and smaller than a big one. So
A decent one.
Yeah, a decent, not even a decent. He's just like a buck. Real white horns. But he's sitting there and he's directly downwind, doesn't have a clue. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. I mean, I'm checking my wind indicator, blowing right at him. I'm like, awesome. Here we go. So, and I'm not going to shoot him. I'm like, oh, this will be kind of fun. So he gets down and there's a flowing rod right there. And he drinks and drinks and drinks and drinks. I'm thinking that water has got to be so cold.
Yeah.
And he's just drinking and drinking, stands up and looks around real good, gets back down, drinks, jumps up on the other side jumps up on my side of the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's at 20 yards downwind, standing there. There's like a little tree in front of him. And it's interesting because there's obviously something that the deer are eating in there because I see a lot of deer putting their heads up, eating on little things, little leaves and stuff. Not a care in the world.
Uh-huh.
Off past behind the tongue on the top, there's a bunch of turkeys over there. And you could hear them kind of yelping and clucking along as they were doing their thing. Yelp and yelp, yelp. And all of a sudden, I hear this emergency cluck.
Mm-hmm.
One emergency cluck. I'm like, huh, two. And like they all kind of started clucking. And dude, that buck yanked his head around and he was looking so hard that direction. They're emergency clucking and I'm kind of looking at them and they're kind of running all around. I look back at him. He just absolutely takes off like he's on fire. He ran 200 yards nonstop before he stopped, looked back. They were still emergency clucking. He turned and just kept on going.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I could see,
Yeah.
he was out of there.
Yeah. That's funny.
To think that he was so on edge just from those turkeys clucking like that. I mean, they were emergency clucking.
Yeah.
And he was just like, nope, that means danger. I'm out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was kind of interesting.
That's funny.
Yeah, dude, he was not having it.
Not having it.
But yeah, it was really cool buck to see. Like I said, it was cool, and he was just a nice 8, real white horns. And off he went. There he's gone. All right, well, let's wrap it up.
Let's wrap it up, boys.
Another podcast in the books. Ozonics Killerwinds podcast. The Nuke. Me. That's it.
Stay safe out there, guys.
Hey.
Stay warm.
Yep. Stay classy.
And good luck.
Stay classy.
See you next week.
Stay classy.